The air in our house was thick with my mother's venom. She'd already cast out my cats, those soft, purring souls that had been my only comfort, and now her wrath turned on us, her daughters. "Useless!" she hissed, her voice ablaze. "Disobedient! Unworthy of anything good!" I was barely a teenager, my sisters even younger, when suitors, wealthy, high-class men came knocking. I dreamed of a life beyond our suffocating walls, but she sneered, "You don't deserve them." Instead, she chained my younger sister to a cousin in a forced marriage, and the other was branded for another cousin from the day she was born. Now it was my turn. She wanted me gone, discarded like trash, to clear space for her precious sons, 3 boys she adored while we withered under her scorn. She pushed me toward marriage, a relentless tide I couldn't escape. "You're a burden," she'd say, dragging my father into her threats. "Marry or else," but I stood firm. "I'm doing well in school," I pleaded. "I want to finish high school. Let me study." My grades were my shield, proof I was more than her pawn. She didn't care. Every day, a new proposal, a rich merchant, a businessman, a 45-year-old man whose mother beamed at me in our living room while my own mother loomed, pressuring, threatening. "Your father could kill you," she warned, her eyes cold. "Like your cousins killed their sister for defying them. You're pushing too far." I was drowning, but then I found a lifeline. At school, I confided in my friend, her eyes wide with the same despair. "I'm trapped too," she whispered. "We have to run." It was our only way out. Better to flee than live as slaves. I sold a gold ring my cousin had given me. She sold her birthday chain. With trembling hands, we bought bus tickets to a city 12 hours away, a world beyond their reach. When the school bell rang, we bolted to the terminal, hearts pounding as the bus carried us into the unknown. Exhausted, we stumbled into a guest house, too broke for a hotel. The receptionist hesitated at our IDs. Our ages betrayed us. But her supervisor, with a quiet nod, handed us a key. That night, in a simple room, we poured out our pain. How could they be so cruel? We asked the walls. The next morning, we vowed to build a life, find work, stand on our own. But as we sat in the guest house restaurant, a voice sliced through the air. My name. I froze, terror bleaching my face. "It's my father," I choked. A policeman with connections everywhere. He'd tracked us down. The guest house had reported our names. 2 missing girls. And now he stood there, calm but unyielding. "Don't be scared," he said. "We're going home." The flight back was a cage closing around me, my heart sinking into a pit of failure and sorrow. Home was a battlefield. Relatives waited, their eyes heavy with judgment. They saw the truth now. My mother's abuse had driven me to run. She played the saint, arms outstretched for a hug, but I recoiled. Her love was poison. I'd tasted it too long. Then her mask slipped. "Disgraceful," she spat, weaving lies to the crowd, gossip that I was immoral, anything to save her pride. I was done, but my father, in a rare flicker of mercy, offered a lifeline: membership to the local library. It was a small key, but it unlocked a world. Books, knowledge, power. I devoured them, each page a brick in the wall I built against her tyranny. I graduated high school at 19, stronger, illuminated. Yet freedom was a mirage. My mother, pregnant again with another boy, schemed to get rid of me. She dreamed of her perfect world, a docile husband and 4 spoiled sons. Marriage was her weapon again. This time to a paranoid madman who beat his own mother bloody. I saw the bruises under her eyes, heard her cries, but my mother didn't care. "He'll pay well," she said, her greed gleaming. They forced me to him, shipped me to a distant city, far from anyone I knew. He locked me in his house, a prisoner in my own life. Suspicion was his god. Every day he'd demand, "Did anyone come?" "No," I'd whisper. The door bolted shut. Then the beatings began. His fists a storm I couldn't escape. Worse, contraception was banned. When I saw the positive test, my heart shattered. A child, my gray-eyed, golden-haired girl born into this nightmare. How could I shield her when I was breaking? But she became my fire. While he was at work, I studied for the college entrance exam, cooking, cleaning, cradling her, books open on the table. I fought for a scholarship, a lifeline to independence. When he found out, his rage exploded. He beat me until neighbors pounded on the door, witnesses to his brutality. "I'll file a complaint," I warned, bloodied but unbowed. He begged forgiveness, fear in his eyes. I seized my chance. At the notary, I demanded the right to divorce, a privilege only men held unless granted, and custody of my daughter. He signed, swearing he'd change. A week later, his fist broke that promise, and my arm. Hospitalized, bruised, I saw my moment. Discharged, I marched to the notary and divorced him. That same day, the exam results came. My name at the top, a scholarship mine. I refused to surrender, no matter how fierce the battle became. With tears in my eyes and a fire in my soul, I fought tooth and nail to claim the rights that were mine. Until, at last, I seized my hard-won freedom. It felt like an impossible dream, struggling to triumph with no steady income, a hungry baby cradled in my arms, and not a shred of help from my parents or the ex-husband who turned his back on me. Yet, through the heartbreak and the endless nights, I vowed with every fiber of my being to lift my daughter up, to rise and flourish, even as others schemed to tear me down and shatter my relentless pursuit of success. It was the dawn of a raw, untamed chapter in my life, a whirlwind of childcare, college, grueling work, and a fierce, soul-deep struggle against those who shoved me backward with every step I dared to take. They sneered and swore that no girl could carve out a life defiant of their suffocating commands, but I stood trembling yet unbroken, determined to prove them wrong, to claw my way forward with my daughter's future clutched tightly in my heart. This is going to be continued. I kept these memories locked in my heart for years, but now I'm going to share with everyone to show how resilience and not giving up save us from the hardest battle of life. Subscribe to my channel to be noticed as soon as the next video would be released.